Hello, you guys. This is a Sunday afternoon, and I thought we could just chill in bed and talk about some things. I find a lot of joy and relatability in these kind of videos, so I thought I would share a piece of my mind with you guys. Let's go. First of all, welcome to my bedroom. I have stayed here for over a year now. I renewed my lease a few months ago, and I'm only gonna be here for 5 more months, moving out by the end of this year. And this room has been through a lot. So a lot of transformation. It's so a lot of transformation, and I feel like it's the first space that I've ever been in where I actually really decorated it and like put a lot of thought into it. I tried to thrift and get cute pieces to make this room feel like me, and so far I think I did a great job. One thing that I need to do better at though is cleaning my room. It's very, very cluttered. I have just so many things around here. It's insane. So I need to do better at this, but I'm not really gonna give myself a hard time about this. I'm just like chilling and I'm just having my time, taking my time, and honestly, it doesn't bother me because these are all my stuff, so I don't care. So, my channel is called Living Girl because I'm a living girl and I'm just living in this world. And this might sound crazy, but I am a living girl. And I'm just gonna share about my living and how my life has been lately because I feel like I have a pretty eventful life to some degree, obviously. So just talking about it and discussing it, even if I'm by myself, just feels good and feels productive, and it's just a way to like rethink and reevaluate things in life. So anyway, let's start with I just got back. Well, not really just got back, but I recently got back from a trip to San Francisco. You guys, it is such a beautiful, beautiful city. I love the city so much and the people and everything. It was cold too, like when they're in August, and even August is super chilly there, which is very interesting, but it's a very like shore, seashore vibes city with all the seagulls and everything. And the ferry, I went on a ferry ride to this little town or place called Sausalito, and it's very European core and it's very, very cool. But mostly this trip was very like eye opening for me, Like, I feel like I saw things and I saw a reality that I know was real, but I was kind of denying it. You see, I'm in a pretty small town in Arizona studying at a university here, just like a small campus location of this big university in a small town. And the life of a small town and the life in Arizona in general, like the culture here is very different from what I align with and who I am, but it has been a great experience so far. But whenever I get out of here and I go somewhere else, even though I am from somewhere else, I just haven't been home in so long. So whenever I go somewhere else, it just makes me take a step back and just think about where do I belong? That's such a deep question, but it's very hard to know where you belong, especially when you leave home for so long and you become estranged to that home, you then start thinking like, where is my home now? You know what I mean? Because like this room is my home, for example, right? And this town, this small town is my home too. So it just gets you thinking like, oh, maybe that's just me. Actually, it's not just me. I know that everyone thinks about this, especially people who are in my situation. But I think it's very beautiful. And um, anyway, so my eye-opening experience in San Francisco was just the type of people there. They were very fascinating. They were, first of all, they were very and extremely smart. And I think I'm a smart person as well, but I think, like intelligence and smart people, or like intelligence in general, is very different and can manifest itself in so many different ways because a lot of people are just intelligent in one way and not another, and vice versa, right? And the people that I was surrounded with in San Francisco, they were very intelligent, obviously, and they were very deep individuals as well, which I've realized that I really like because I feel like I am a deep person, hence why I have a YouTube channel and why I just like to talk and say what's on my mind because it's a lot, right? But I have never surrounded myself with deep individuals like that. Like even back home, all my friends they weren't that deep, and right now in this small town, all my friends and people here are not as deep either, and it just makes me feel hollow and lonely, and like I want to explore this side of myself better, but I can't because I don't have someone to explore it with. um I mean, I'm obviously exploring it, but like in a on a deeper level and in a social level, I'm not because I'm not talking it through with other people, so we can have like a back and forth conversation. I really appreciate this video because it at least makes me like have a one side conversation, and then maybe if someone sees it and comments down below, then we can have an exchange, which will be so beautiful. But yeah, the people there were amazing. They were very intelligent and they were very like smart and like math and like finance. You know how San Francisco is. It's very much like finance bros core. However, they were still like really fun people to be around and very interesting. The city's so beautiful. The apartment I was staying in like over at my friend's was so beautiful, and it was just a very inspiring place to be in because I just felt like, I don't know, I felt inspired and I felt just a need to do more in this city. Like it just made me like charge so much. And by the way, that is really the value. Sorry. That is really the value of a big city and a big place because it challenges you, it pushes you, it makes you open up to new things and ideas and all this kind of stuff. Sorry, guys, I just realized I did not get a water or anything for me to drink, and I'm gonna be talking. So I'll be back. I'll get some water. Okay, changed up the angle a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more of my room. Something else that I've been thinking about, I've been watching this Turkish drama show called Another Self. It's on Netflix, and the woman that stars this show, by the way, like I'm from Egypt, so we used to watch a lot of Turkish shows on TV. Like they would always be dubbed in Arabic. It was like a thing, right? Like whatever. And the star in that show, I've seen another other shows of her before, and she's insanely beautiful. Like she's so pretty. Like whenever she comes on screen, I'll be like, how can someone be this beautiful? Like look at those eyebrows, like her hair. It's just insane. I'm fangirling too hard on her for sure, and she was the reason why I started the show. Start like watching the show, right? But anyway, the show is actually pretty good, and it talks about generational traumas and how they manifest themselves in present life, which is a concept that I was familiar with, but it really opened up my eyes. Like, it reopened up my eyes to it again, which is really beautiful. And it got me thinking for sure, because I didn't know how deep it could be. Like, it literally could be from generations past, like things that you don't even know about, Like, they were talking about war times and murder and drowning and having to travel by boat and things like that, that like generations past, not just one, not two, but like multiple generations past, like their trauma could still manifest in you, because at the end of the day, we are just a product, right? And those genes are passed down to us by people who are long gone, right? Like, you know how we like it, we oh, what did she say? We exist in the context of all which came before us. And it's true, like everything that came before us, we exist in it. Like, we exist in that context. Um, but yeah, that really got me thinking. And I mean, I know I might not ever be able to know about generations past or what happened like 4 generations ago from me, which is such like it's too bad, honestly, because I would have liked to know. But it's okay. I was just thinking about just things that happened in my life and how they are affecting me as an adult now. I feel like as a child, you know, every person goes through a lot of things as a child, and it can be so hard to process at the time, because sometimes they're just like a load of things just gets dropped on you, and you're like, I'm just a kid. I don't know how to deal with this, you know? And then you grow up and those things are still with you because you were too young to know how to deal with them. And now that you're old enough, you're forced to deal with it or just let it kill you from the inside, basically. And I refuse to let things that happen to me kill my inside. I refuse to let things that happen to me to give me cancer or give me illnesses or anything like that, because I want to rise above. I want to rise above that, and I want to take control of my narrative and my story. And I know that, like, I know that you can't have control over things or people or whatever around you all the time. And you have to learn to let go at the same time, which is very hard. It's like a paradox, right? But I guess that's what this journey of life is about, is just finding this balance of what you can control and what you can't, and to learn how to let go, which is so scary. And it's making me think about that even more, because recently I haven't been doing so well, like mentally and physically as well. Like, I've been getting so sick, I've been getting so distressed, and it's really, really hard, you guys. Like, if you're dealing with something like that, just know you're not alone. I would like to think that I'm not alone, and because it hurts, right? It hurts sometimes, and it hurts too much sometimes. So you just need to learn how to kind of like open up and just don't be scared and face your fears and deal with them. And also forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive people who did not so good things to you in your past, and just forgive for the sake of yourself and love yourself. And just honestly, if you like become so close to yourself where you can talk to yourself and deal with things on, like, I don't want to say deal with things on your own, but obviously you need closure at some point, because I tend to have a very like avoidant personality, and I think it resulted from just my parents and the dynamic in my household where I grew up. It We didn't really face each other. Like, whenever something bad would happen, we would kind of just like not speak about it, which is very toxic. And I feel like it's a very common trait in like Middle Eastern households and Arabs and Muslims. Like, it's kind of like a thing where people just bottle up and not face and talk to each other about things, which is very sad and uh, harmful, honestly. So, growing up and learning how to start doing that with further relationships in your life, like friendships or romantic relationships that you have in the future, is a key to happiness, really, and to rising above this generational trauma. I have isolated myself a lot in my life during high school, even a little bit during college. Like, I've always isolated myself, and I think the core reason behind my isolation is fear of disappointment. I was disappointed by very close people to me who were not supposed to disappoint you, right? And who were supposed to have your back, but they didn't, so they ended up disappointing me. So I ended up being scared of disappointment and scared of having people too close to me that they would eventually disappoint me. And it still happens. People still disappoint me. And it's just like, like I was walking this morning to get some groceries and I was thinking about it. I was thinking, I hate dealing with other people's BS, right? And when you're close to people, you just have to deal with their BS. And I just like, it gets so exhausting for me. And I just don't like dealing with other people's BS because like I'm just like it's not on me, just like go away. You know what I mean? Maybe that's my avoidant side talking, but at the same time, like I really hate dealing with other people's BS. Like seriously. I'm like, take it away from me, it's yours. Just go deal with it on your own. And maybe I am selfish, but at the same time maybe I'm right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have been with someone for a while and we've been really close. Like we've been moving around together, staying together for months, like living together for a few months and stuff like that. And now we're not, and it's very tricky to find like where we are right now because I don't know, you know what I mean? It's kind of tricky for sure, and I'm trying to figure out who I am right now without them because they've changed me a lot. So now I'm not the same person I'm not the same person who I was before them, and I'm not the same person who I was with them either. I'm evolving into a new person, and I'm trying to discover and know like who this new person is, right? And so far I like her and I'm working on it and I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be the best version of myself because I've let myself go. I have like let myself go into bad habits and it came with a price. It came with a hefty price tag and medical bills and prescriptions and shit like that. Um, because I can let the stress get the best of me sometimes, and rightfully so. Like the past few months, I've been through a lot, and it's okay to acknowledge that, and it's okay to just like be okay with that because it was not easy. And I think I am getting out of it right now, which feels so amazing, but I am taking my time and I'm not, I don't know. But the thing that I'm referring to is grief. And you guys, this was my first experience with grief, and it is so hard. It is so hard to deal with grief. It is so hard to deal with someone you love not being on this earth with us anymore. It is extremely difficult. And, like, I've always, like, known about death, like, like, heard of it, been taught about it in like religion classes and stuff like that, but having to deal with it is very crazy. And especially that this person passed away and I wasn't there with them on their last few days. And they passed away very suddenly and they passed away very sadly too. Unfortunately, they were dealing with so much emotionally and like abuse and like certain substances and stuff like that, which is very hard because I get it. I get it needing an escapism from this life. Life is so hard and especially right now, you guys. Um like it the world is kind of crazy right now. There is so much bloodshed and loss and grief around us everywhere. And it's just like this energy is just spreading all over the globe and it's making everything extremely like sad and unfortunate. And I'm getting emotional talking about this, but I am a very emotional person, which is something that I'm very proud of because I can really dig deep into my emotions and talk about them for so long. And I think that has developed through my avoidant personality when I was young because I had to deal with a lot of emotional things on my own as a child. Um, and it had made me a very unique person, I think. And I think people around me see that, and I really appreciate that because you know what? I am unique and not to be like pick me or anything. I feel like everyone is unique in their own way, but when you yourself know everything about yourself and you're not hiding away from it, you're just dealing with it on your own mostly. I see power and I admire that in myself and in other people for sure. But anyway, so the grief that I was talking about, let's circle back to that. um the person that passed away was a very close man to my heart. He was like a father to me, and he was like a savior in my life at the point that he came into my life because I was so lost and I had like issues with my dad, and this person just came and he was like took my hand and just like he just did a lot of very unique things to me and to my story, and I don't think I would have been the same person without him. And I think he really added a lot to my life. Like I think a piece of him is still living with me, which brings me so much comfort because he was so precious to go away so early. You know what I mean? Like he was such a precious person. He was such a special person and he was such an artist. And I do really believe that special people go fast and go too early, and that is so sad. But sometimes special people cannot just they cannot just live in this world, because this world is so harsh and it's not for certain people to stay for that long. And I really hope he's finding peace and happiness for wherever he is. I've heard like other people around me telling me that he showed up in their dream, which I'm first of all very jealous because why hasn't he visited me yet? I'm waiting for him to visit me, and but I did hear that he visited them in their dreams and he was smiling and he was so happy and full of life, and just I'm just glad that maybe there is another mirroring universe where he is there and he's smiling and he's happy because he deserved it. He didn't do anything but being righteous. Like he was the most righteous man to everyone but himself. And you know, kudos to him because he never hurt anyone but himself. He never did wrong by anyone but himself. And that is very lonely and sad. But I hope he's doing right by himself right now, and that he is resting and just, you know, he lived a very full life. He lived a very, very full life. Even though it wasn't that long, but it was extremely full. And, he did a lot of amazing things. So, yeah. But anyway, I am currently here and I have so many questions on my mind. I am a very existential person, like I'm always questioning my existence and I'm always questioning things. And growing up as a Muslim and religion and religious people around me and all of that, they hated me. They hated me for being so questionable. They hated me for, questioning everything and just not taking an answer and stuff like that. That's why I always felt like I didn't fit in, because I was always challenging the culture I grew up in, and I was still so loved by all my friends, even though I was like very, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think a lot about even people that have come and gone through my past, who are not in my life anymore, but I, like, on social media and stuff, you can always see what people are up to, which is really nice because you get to stay in touch without actually having to talk with them, which might be, I don't know, I think it's good because, you know, I don't know. But anyway, this was my talk today, and I think that was enough for today. I want you guys to let me know if you relate to any of this. Please get the conversation going. I really like making these videos and I will start doing them more often. And also, what do you guys think of my room? We've gotten so close. We're in bed together now. Like, it's not like, it's giving third date. You know what I mean? But I will be working on my organization. I will throw away empty bottles of products and stop being gross, okay? And also, by the end of this year, I'm gonna have to pack my stuff and leave. So I'll probably get rid of a lot of clothes so I can start fresh and explore myself more as I carry on this journey of life. But anyway, I had a lot on my mind to say, and I'm so glad that I said it out loud right now. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and brace yourself for um, the upcoming week. Everyone's probably has so much to do, from appointments to interviews to work to school to, all this kind of things. So, good luck, everybody. And I love you so much. And I will see you and talk to you very soon. Bisous, bisous.